Hello world. Today is Friday, July 3rd, 2026. It's 5:25 p.m. and this is another vlog, a 10 minutes raw and edited talk about what is top of mind. This is a public journal, a captain's log through the journey of life. A couple of things I want to say today, like one, I was talking to a friend and she showed me this video titled YouTube video titled "How to Destroy Your Depression" about from some like gaming channel. And I watched a few minutes of this, and like some of the things were like people that are depressed see a positive thing as like a zero, see like a neutral thing as like a negative one, see like a negative thing as like a negative one, and like catastrophize things. And even though we see the same data, a depressed person will be like, my life's fucking over. And I'm like, I just really like this video just because it's like so true. And another thing was like, I was watching some like Instagram reel about a guy talking about like how we have our narratives, our storytelling of that shapes our identity, and which is how we combine facts from a life and into a narrative, into a story, and then we fit things and facts into that data into that story. And so that's like another example of like the same thing, that it's like so true that your inner story, your dialogue, how you interpret things is a self-fulfilling prophecy, is a recursive compounding thing. So if you're negative and you're a negative all your life, that's just terrible. And like honestly, like so many of us do that. And like I was just thinking about that. Like I have like like a pretty good family. I had like mom and dad home. They weren't perfect, but like I didn't get like everything I wanted, but like I got pretty much like like a lot of positive things comparatively to like what other people may have. And then like we always just see you see the glass half full or half empty. That your attitude, your perception every day, that has an enormous impact on your life, on your outcomes, on your income, on your abilities, on everything. And it's such a simple, stupid thing. It's just this observation. It's just like right in front of us, and it's just like such a clear, simple thing. But like, if you understand that, like, but if you like understand it, and then you actually like, it's shocking that it's like that simple thing. And so many of us still like fucking fall for it. We don't really correct our storytelling. We don't choose to be successful and happy and fulfilled. We honestly, that just shows you that it's up to us. How do we interpret our events? Do we see them as half full or half empty? That's like the simplest, most cliche thing. Is like literally the fucking like will determine where you will go in your life. This little small thing determines the outcome of your life. if you never learn how to use your mind, you are drifting. Like, and you're just falling, and you're just reacting, and that's insane. Napoleon Hill is just like that. Talks about that, like though his last book was called something like the devil something whispers or something like that, but like that's like what pretty much he says. Like there's two kinds of people: the people that are drifting, and the people that like fucking like creating their reality by telling themselves like what the fuck they're doing, and directing their energies, and directing their attention, and controlling that narrative that they have in their head that determines everything. If you just determine the narrative in your head, you'll determine your future. End of story. Like, it's so simple thing. We all have that power, and yet so few people like fucking use that. All right, so that's one giant fucking thing I have to like record and talk about and express and document for the rest of my life. Number two, fuck. I'm like thinking, oh, okay, augme.world, I'm pivoting to fucking a platform for contest. Then I'm like, no fucking way. There's no, then no. Then I was like, I realized, I had this deep realization that you really, if you really want to do something great, you really have to do, you cannot divide your energy. You have to go in all in with your whole heart and soul, your whole, every breath, every thought on one thing. Like, you literally have to do one fucking thing. And if you want to do something good in life, great, you have to focus on one thing. I was just like, I was just realizing that, like the Steve Jobs thing, it's actually true. And by the way, I just had like amazing conversations yesterday. I was at the fucking, NS Fair, and I was like Muay Thai booth, and I was talking with somebody and like talking about a solopreneurship route, and fucking like I was just narrating like all this shit, like how it's about simplicity, it's about clarity, it's about persistence and consistency, on and on. And then today I'm like, I was just journaling to myself, and I'm like, I'm just saying all this truth, and like, it's fucking, and it's true. And then I'm like, then look at what I'm doing. I'm in the fucking middle of like creating augme.world, the brand and creator contest marketplace. And I'm like, fuck, no. Can I make Luminolog my submission for Protocol Camp? Can I add a Web3 component to it? I'm like, fuck, I gotta brainstorm. Then I'm like thinking, brainstorming with AI. All right, so one idea is like a soul-bound NFT that evolves, and it visualizes a 3D graph of the embedding space of all of your 750-word journals. And that's awesome. I'm just gonna do that. And I'm like, fuck, I'm just doing it now. You open the app, you have a soul-bound NFT visualization of your journals that are its embedding space. That's so beautiful, one. And two, all right, like in the journey of entrepreneurship, you evolve, you learn, and you realize that it's about simplicity and the creating products with our technology that has an impact. And like really the high value of the impact of a daily reward of a journaling is huge, right? But this hasn't been addressed. What it does, 750 words, spoken, video, or handwritten, every day you get a badge. Like, that's the simplest thing. That's $1 billion app idea right there. And the impact it has is it allows people to process their lives, allows people to develop their ideas. And 750 words is that magic number. And it allows you to compound by a habit of a daily loop. You come back to it, and then you have an AI companion, you have a journal, you have an insights, it's like a reflection. You have prompts to address things that you would not normally address. And then you have a journal companion that you can ask questions and query and visualize. And just this simple container of your words every day, collected over days, becomes a real gold mine. And so it does two things. One thing is it develops your ability to speak, to think, to direct yourself, to command yourself through your words, to cultivate, to be creative, to be responsible, to be reflective, to be aware. That's one thing. Number two, it's recorded there in words. Allows you and your AI to quantify it, measure it, access it, summarize it, spot patterns that you would never see. that's so valuable. It's immensely valuable. And as we evolve, our words become the bridge. We are building the bridge between us and the models. And having a soul-bound NFT there, that's a visualization of everyday embedding space. It's a representation. It's a symbol. It's a 3D mathematical gem insight of your soul. And I just love that. Like if I could have one impact on the world, I have 100 million people doing this practice for 100 days. Like just imagine the kind of impact you can have on the world if you just create that. And so if you want to have that kind of impact, you really have to really laser focus, and the amount of work you have to do, because it takes so much care. Because as you have gained experience as an entrepreneur, you realize that it's very difficult, and it takes a lot of care, a lot of your breath, life energy, your attention, your refinement. You are the creator of this thing. You have to take care of it. You have to bring it out there in the world, and it's an immense amount of work. And if you're not just focused on one thing, you're not doing it justice. You're not doing it the best. You're not serving it as best as it can be, and somebody else is going to do that better. But it's not about money. It's about what kind of impact you want to have on the world. That's the crazy part that I've learned. It's like not about using the latest technology. It's not about the most complex thing, the most crazy agent harness. It's about the simplest thing it's about the impact you have on the other person. And that's just like simple and clear, but it's so profound. Ending it here, as always, sending you good thoughts, frequencies, and vibrations, because every thought matters. May you be freed from suffering. Peace.